Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
This might be my most vivid entertainment memory of any of them. I think within a year from this story, I recall catching G.I. Joe Real American Hero on network television, maybe 8 o'clock prime time. Just catching the end credits and being in awe of just that. So the year before, I remember this. I see Tron in the newspaper. I think a lot of my curiosity with Tron at the time wasn't so much the images. It was just the name. 4 letters. Cybernetic, futuristic. I guess we can maybe call it cyberpunk, right? Like cyberpunk lettering. At the time, had no idea of Star Wars too much. Didn't know about any other science fiction, anything. We can argue that there's a little bit of a science fiction introduction at this point for a young AKAPAD, the film buff, which is G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Transformers, and movies like Tron. So, like a good grandmother, we go to Tron. She takes me to Tron. And I don't know the exact point of the movie, but I freaked out. The imagery, the darkness, once they get into the grid, once they get into the microchip, the computer. There's some characters that just have shape. But it scared me. And by shape, I mean like a presence. But it scared me. I freaked out to the point where she had to take me home. I had to go home. I couldn't watch Tron. So some of this parlays into me discovering comic books, which was also through Teresa. She brought me home Breaker. That was my first G.I. Joe action figure. So being connected with the comics and being connected with these toys, I always knew Tron had a toy line. I believe it was made by Tommy. I would buy them. They were always in flea markets and stuff. And years ago, when I sold just about my entire collection, I just had a box of Tommy Trons. Some with accessories, some without. Early days of eBay, I was able to get life cycles, so on and so forth. I just had boxes of stuff in my parents' place through these years. Some of it could be on display, but it was just all boxes. So by the time I hit my mid-20s, it just seemed such a waste. Tron never got a comic book series, like a good one, like a regular one. You think when Marvel acquired Disney, Tron would be still going to this day. We would be 80 issues into a Tron monthly series from Marvel Comics. The best of the industry working on it, expanding the lore. So for me, Tron largely went unwatched, but the fascination of this franchise, it simmered in me. During my VHS collecting and purchasing days, I had trouble acquiring Tron. Tron was a Disney Classics white clamshell. Now, it later got released. Might have been the 20th anniversary. Black cover, Tron logo. The Tron pose, you guys know. The disc going up, the light ray going up to heaven. For the users. I call it's like the for the users pose. So I was able to get VHS and watch it. And I was blown away by just how little at that time I felt was there. There was not enough there. But then, and I want to say maybe 5 years later, or maybe around this time, there was a double disc DVD that came out. Thick DVD case. And it had this documentary. And the documentary detailed how they would just have to essentially print out every single frame that these characters were on. Guys like Sam Flynn or Kevin Flynn, right? And they would work on them as if they were animated cells because they had to key out areas for the light. So when you watch Tron, like, that's not perfect, right? There's a little bit of a jiggle, of a wiggle. Just even when they're not moving much. And that's why. So Tron, in a way, it's a handmade live action movie. And they bring in everything they could do optically at the time. So, as a little bit of a Disney historian as I am, Disney innovated technology even while people claimed that they just made stinker movies. Black Hole, Tron. I mean, just look at those two movies alone. Absolutely innovative through and through. Disney, a lot of times, had an identity crisis. How mature, how serious for the family, they were very schizophrenic. Maybe to this day they still are. This balance, but I mean, heck, they're rolling in Hulu into Disney Plus. So who the hell cares at that point? But during the time, Disney, absolute innovator. So I watched this documentary, and I watched the documentary more than I watched Tron the movie. So at this point, like 20 years later, I may have seen Tron two times in its entirety. I remember, so we would get like the Disney Channel preview for our cable package. Disney Channel was an additional add-on, even back then, for our cable region, our area. Now, in some regions, I think it was rolled into cable packages. Cable was complicated at one time. But they would show you the best stuff. I remember catching some of Tron on Disney. I believe Tron might have also been the first Disney Channel air anything. Like, so they go in the air for the first time, they air Tron. So there's always been this mystique and this air about the movie. And I think that's exactly what it is. Because the movie wasn't always available, wasn't easily available. It became popular during a time where media had to like catch up to the consumer habits, where, you know, people didn't know that, dads, for example, would spend a chunk of their paycheck on new DVDs every single week. So these things had to get discovered. Technology had to catch up, make things cheaper. But that documentary is what I consider one of the greatest DVD special features documentaries of all time. And if we fast forward, so I have this freak out in the movie theater. I catch a little bit of Tron on a Disney Channel preview. I watched Tron on VHS for the first time when it's non-clamshell. I get the DVD, first release, get it, watch it again, get obsessed with this documentary. But then it's Tron Legacy. And the story is so perfect. It's so well thought out, written, conceived. It makes me appreciate Tron 1982. A real-time sequel makes me appreciate the original more and more. The more I watch Tron Legacy, the more I appreciate the original movie. And recently, I've had the original, maybe for the first time ever, just on repeat. And again, I thank Disney Plus because I think it's great that I can just put the freaking movie on and let it go. I can mute it if I get a call. I can go back to the audio. I can flip back a couple scenes. No big deal. I can let it run to the end, restart it. I'm not burning through the DVD, or I'm not demagnetizing the VHS from repeated use. Keep in mind too, DVDs have DVD rot. They would get scratched. DVDs not a perfect format. And then throughout the years, people looked at Tron Legacy the same way how the upcoming generation looked at the 1982 Tron. Now, do I feel like, will that happen with Tron Ares? I don't know. But holy hell, there seems to be a hell of a lot of hate right now. Like, this is the movie to crap on. Usually that's when I rally. I hope to catch it this weekend, so I will bring you Tron Ares. But I wanted to share that story with you, aka Padders, because, again, a lot of the things we do on this podcast is we bring our lives into the movies. A lot of these movies, they don't transform our lives, but sometimes they can nudge us, guide us. Sometimes they're a memory. And for this, I mean, I give my grandmother credit for trying to take me. I don't give her credit because I never lived it down. And one of the reasons, here's the crazy thing. One of the reasons why I maybe love Tron so much is an apology, because I don't want her to feel like she wasted her time and money. That Tron experience did pay off. Isn't that crazy? The way that the human mind works. All right, AKA Padders, I love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.